I got to give the people what they want. Well, I said I got to give the people what they want. Funk remix, bass, back in the house. Springboard, creating equations practice. I want you guys to be right on this next test. If you're paying attention, doing your homework really well and thinking about it, you're going to be in good shape. Creating equations practice. Here's your first situation. It says when Mr. Bass DJs, he gets $200 to show up and then $20 for each hour that he spends. Write an equation that gives his pay, we're going to call it P, in terms of the hours worked. H, right? So there's a situation. You can pause it if you need to write that down. Remember what our steps are from these situations. 1, you're going to make a table. 2, you're going to find a rate of change. 3, you're going to plug it into that equation with the rate of change being in front of the independent variable. 4, you're going to check it and see if it works. If it doesn't work, you're going to add something or subtract something from this equation. This is a continuation of your notes from last time, so it's those same steps, all right? So 1, create a table. So let me just come up with a table that hopefully makes sense around this, right? So we got Mr. Bass DJing. We want to know how much he gets paid per hour. So we'll have our hours here, which is kind of like our X, and we'll have our pay here, which is kind of like our Y. So let's think about this. Bass works 1 hour. How much does he get paid? Actually, you should be doing this on your own, but if you're not sure, follow along. Well, 1 hour, he got paid $200 to show up, and then he worked for 1 hour, so he got an extra $20. So 200 plus that 20. If he worked 1 hour, he get paid 220 bucks. Boom. Well, now if he works 2 hours, well, he still gets 200 to show up, and then he gets $20 per hour, so he gets $20 twice, because 2 hours, that's 40. 200 plus 40 is 240. What if he works 3 hours? Well, he gets the 200 to show up, and then he works 3 hours at $20 an hour, right? $20 an hour times 3, 60. So you get 260, right? 220, 240, 260. 4 hours, you make 280 bucks. All right, so that's our situation right here. So we made a table. Let's find our rate of change. Well, the difference between 240 and 220 is $20. Difference between 240 and 260 is $20, right? 40 plus 20 is 60, 20 plus 20 is 40, 60 plus 20 is 80. Here's our rate of change, right? Rate of change. So, I'm going to put Y, which represents his pay, in terms of, they said in terms of 8x. Excuse me, I should use what they said. So pay is going to be P. Sorry. And hours is going to be H. P, pay, in terms of hours, H. So far, we know it's P equals 20H. Okay? So now, let's plug 1 in. If I plug 1 in for hours, I end up with 20 being his pay. For 1 hour, should he just make $20? No way. He should make 200. He should make 220. So, to get to 220, I got to do 20 plus 200 plus 200 plus 200. That's what's missing. I need to add a 200 more onto there. Think about it. What does that 200 represent? That's the money he gets just to show up. So, let's check this bad boy now. Let me plug 3 hours in here just to check. So his pay should equal 20, times the 3 hours plus the 200 to show up. Let's see. His pay equals 60 plus 200 for 3 hours, his pay should equal $260. Boom, to cow. So, we have a perfect little equation right there. All right? For the next one, you try to do it. Okay? If you didn't get that first one, if you just followed along and listen because you're like, I'm listening, I can do all of these things, you'll be in good shape. So let me check my time. Oh yeah, we're good to giz up. Here's your next situation. I'm just going to give you this table. Two, 16, 3, 28, 4, 40. What I want you to do is write an equation that would go along with this table right here. Okay? So I already did. Do this on your own, actually. Pause it right now and do this on your own. Hopefully you just did that. And so now you were thinking, all right, let me follow these steps. Step 1 was make a table. Already done. Step 2 was find a rate of change. Okay. 4 to 16, 4 plus, what is that? 12 to 16, 16 to 28, 16 plus 12 is 28, 28 to 40. Boom. I have a constant rate of change. Remember, which is also my slope. Okay? So now that I have this constant rate of change, let me plug them in terms of y. So y equals the rate of change, right? The rate of change times x. Right? That's step 2. So now let me check this to see if it actually works. Well, if I plug a 1 in for here, y equals 12 times 1, I end up with y equals 12. That's not right. When x equals 1, y should equal 4. So how am I going to go from a 12 to a 4? I'm going to subtract 8 minus 8 minus 8 minus 8. Right? So now let me check it within the term. Y equals, let's do 3. 12 times 3 minus 8. When I plug a 3 in, I'm hoping I get 28. Let's see. Y equals 12 times 3 is 36. And 36 minus 8. Aha! Beautiful. Look at that. It's 28. This is what I want. That makes this my equation. Feeling good? Looking pretty good right now. Okay? Let me check my time again. Alright. We are to the last one. This last one, I'm not even going to do it up here. This one I want you to do on your own. If you don't come up with something pretty for this, something that makes sense to you, not going to get full credit on your homework tonight. Alright? This is the last one. Do on your own. It says, Ariana babysits for Bass. Alright? So Ariana babysits for me. Alright? She makes $10 per hour. Write an equation. Oh, markers are dying on me. Markers are dying on me. Write an equation to represent her pay. Okay? So follow those steps. Make a table. Find a rate of change. Set up your equation with just y, x, and the rate of change. Decide if you need to add or subtract anything to that equation to make it work. It's a 4-step process. That's it for today. Do this on your own. Me, Mr. Bass. You done. Everything out.